Hey up YouTube, we came down the allotment today and we can't do anything. It's blowing an absolute gale. We brought all the onion sets down, all the onion seedlings, things like that, so I've got a bit of space at home again now. So what we're going to do is we're going to head home and I'm going to do a seeds and jobs for February video for next month. So we're going to be looking forward, as I like to do, we're going to be looking forward to next month as opposed to doing it in the month, to give you guys a bit of a heads up. So yeah, if you like the sounds of that, please
like, subscribe and share the video.
Yeah, what she said, that was spot on. That wasn't rehearsed. Like, share and subscribe the video. Like, share and subscribe? No, like, subscribe and share the video, please.
And also click the bell so you get notifications for new videos.
Yes, that I did a couple of live streams over the last couple of weeks. One was a test, one was a proper one. A lot of people are asking me, how do we know when you're going live? I can't do like a pre-going live announcement until I reach 1,000 subs. So subscribe and help me reach that 1,000 sub mark. But in the meantime, if you hit that bell, when I do go live, I'll try and tell everybody a week before in a video. But when I do go live, you'll get a notification through on your phone or your PC or whatever to tell you, or you should do, to tell you I am live. What I generally do is I'll go live and I won't actually start the content for about 10-15 minutes, let people join in. I'm probably going to be going live again in about 2 weeks. It depends what I've got to show you, really. I don't like just sitting there and talking. I like to actually show you something. So anyway, once again,
like, share, subscribe, share, click the bell to get notifications.
I'll see you in a bit, guys. Good morning, YouTube. Hi guys, right, just before we go, you'll be able to hear why we couldn't film outside, but just before we go, I just want to quickly flip you around and just show you sort of what I've been sowing and the results of what I've been sowing. Don't forget, up and coming Wednesday's video, my intention is to show you, I've purposely done it so that some seedlings have gone wrong, they've gone leggy, they've gone horrible. I've purposely done that to show you guys what happens if you sow things too early, even stuff that's suitable for that time of year but light levels are too low. So that's coming on Wednesday's video, so once again subscribe to see that. Right, so I'm going to flip you around and just show you sort of the onions, what I've done with my onion sets, which you saw, which we spoke about in the live stream. Some things are looking healthy, other things not so much. We'll see how they get on down in the Polytunnel. We've moved them down here today, so I'll flip you around. So these are my, pull that out, mother strawberry plants. These are the ones that I get all the runners off, 2 plain and a pine berry, a white one. We got a little tray of spring, are they spring onions? Yeah, a little tray of guardsman spring onions. And then we've got my onions from seed. So we've got some, these up to here are all Elisa Craig onions. So all those and all those. And then we've got 3 trays of Showmaster onions, and the ones that have been down here in the Polytunnel the longest are the ones that are actually the most happy, so that's a little odd. Then we've got some more spring onions here, some leeks here, some more Elisa Craig onions actually, and then these are all the onion sets that I was given. The reason I've put them in pots is we're very wet here at the moment, so if I was to put them in the ground I would be fearful of them getting waterlogged. That, and I actually had no plans to get these this year. These were gifted to me, so thanks Silica Lodge. Then you can't see anything in that one. I'll see if I can get you a better angle. Yeah, you can see a few. They're shallots, Ambition from seeds. Once again, first I'm trying a lot of onions from seed this year. I've not had great success in the past. We'll have to see how things go. And then we've got some Brussels sprout seeds, and some things that haven't come up yet. I think there's some cauliflowers, some broccolis, and some, in fact that's it, cauliflowers, broccolis and sprouts, and that's what all they are. And we've just got another mother strawberry here. I think that's actually the pineberry one. And then the rest of the polytunnel, that's the kiwi that we trimmed in the other video, is all shut down. It's all tidied up and shut down for Christmas. Got my 2 mother blueberry plants, my original blueberry plants. Not too sure that one doesn't look very happy. That one is starting to show signs of life. In fact, this one is already, the buds have already come open on it, which means I can no longer winter wash it. I actually wanted to give everything another winter wash this year, but can't do that now. Not now the buds are starting to open. These are my failed overwintering potatoes. You know, we live and learn. And then some really sorry for themselves lettuce seedlings. I'm just going to leave them, see if they take off. If they don't, I'll direct sow some in this bed again. So folks, that is the inside of the polytunnel at the moment. Pretty much just a seedling nursery. One of the beauties of a polytunnel is it enables me to do this. So, you know, I plant things up, I get them started off at home. They're the broccoli that the chickens ate. And then I bring them down here, put them on this racking, which just sits above the beds. And they're generally quite happy, provided the polytunnel doesn't get blown away. So yeah, I think you can hear that. Rather windy. So we're going to get off home, folks. Hey up YouTube. Well, we got blown off the allotment. Be careful how I say that. So we did my bit. We had a bit of a chat about what was in the polytunnel. So now I've come home and I've been umming and ahhing for a couple of days as to whether to do this, but I'm going to pot up the second sowing of chili peppers. And the reason I'm doing this early is actually entirely my fault. I left the heat mat on underneath my second sowing after the door germinated, so it kind of serves a purpose actually. You see, I'll pull these guys round. Hopefully we should have picture in picture here. You see these guys here, these hot lemons across the back. They are far too tall and leggy. They're a lot of gardeners would actually dismiss them completely and get rid of them. However, sown at the same time in the same tray, the chocolate marugulas on the other side are a lot better. Still a little bit leggy, mind, but a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them into these bigger pots, which actually serves 2 things. It takes them up to the height of it takes them up closer to the light, but also chili plants being part of the nightshade family, same as tomatoes, I can bury, see these seed leaves here, I can bury the plant up to those seed leaves, and in actual fact what the plant is capable of doing is sending out more roots from that stem. So whilst letting plants go leggy is not a good idea if you can avoid it, it's not terminal in the case of all plants. There are things you can do, which we've just mentioned, with some plants, not all, with some plants to rescue them. Now coming up on Wednesday's video is actually I've actually grown some purposely leggy, and I mean they're getting sort of 6 inches long now, or a man's 6 inches long. Leggy cabbages, and I've done this to show you guys what the results, what happens. You put all this time, money, care and effort into planting things. What happens if you plant them too early? It's the reason I've done it. It's not my actual tray of cabbages, it was just leftover seed. And what we're going to do, on Wednesday is we're going to try and salvage some and see what happens. So you'll be able to follow on with regards to what happens. What I'm going to do, they're in root trainers, so what I'm going to do is open them up. Hopefully the roots are all the way down. I'm going to take the compost out of the bottom portion, slide the plant down and recompost around the top, and we'll see what happens. See if it's rescuable. But that's Wednesday's video, so please subscribe to see that. So what we're going to do, we're going to pot up these chilies, and if it's not getting too long, I'm also going to do some planting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pot these chilies up, and I'll probably speed the footage up, to be fair. So we'll do one or two together, and then I'll speed it up and come back to you when it's done. And then what I'm going to do, if there's enough time left, is I'm going to do some seeds. Now that we're getting close to the right time of year for some of the things, so depending on time, we're going to do some seeds. If not, I'm just going to voice over whilst I'm putting on the jalapenos, not jalapenos. Sorry, it's all I grew last year. While I'm potting up these chilies, I'm going to voice over it, and we're going to talk about jobs for February and what you can plant in February, given the right situation, be it lights or a good south-facing windowsill. And then, like I say, on Wednesday, you're going to see what happens if you don't have the proper things and you plant too early. So, without further ado, we're going to crack on. I'm just going to quickly, in fact, no, because I think chocolate marugula is number 3. Yeah, right. No, that's fine. Let's get these guys potted up. Let's crack on. So I'm going to see if I can find my little lifter thing, because I don't think these are going to have fully filled out these pots. But first things first, now these guys are being potted on, they're going into Jack's Magic Compost, which is just a multi-purpose. It's quite a high peat content, but it's enriched with seaweed, and it really is good for root structure. And I've had no problems with this compost and seeds. It's a nice, as you can see, nice open compost. There's not a lot of crap in it. So we'll scoop some of this up, enough to do a few at least. And you'll notice it's not wet through. The plant pots, the seedlings have also been dried out for a couple of days. So these guys, or at least a majority of these guys, are going to be going in 9cm square pots. I picked these up from the range, £1.50 for 12. So you do the maths if you're interested as to how much they cost. Hopefully I've got camera 2 down here with a nice little sort of action shot for you to show you what I'm doing. But it is nice and simple. Create a cavity. I don't know why I'm showing that camera, I don't know if it's in view. Get the little seedling out with as much of the soil as you can, and into the new compost. Pack it down, and we'll put a little bit. Every plant really in these few trays is going to get mounded up a little bit, but some of them not so much. Some of them don't need it. So you see, that's the first chocolate marugula. Now this is a tiny little one, but it has got its first set of trues, so we're okay. Now, instead of labelling, because I do quite a lot of chili plants, instead of labelling them, I've got my notebook over there which tells me that if I label this pot with a 3, I should then, provided that this chalk pen stays on, which it should do, be able to trace that back to tell me that it's a chocolate marugula when it's time to either pot on, or some of these are actually going to market. So I'll these in there as we go. And the benefit of these being nice and dry as well, I mean the soil in there is bone dry. The benefit of these being nice and dry as well is that they can be watered in. Not soaked. Chilies, as I said in the live stream, don't like to be wet through, but they're nice and dry, and it just means that the compost will fill any air gaps and voids. The compost being quite a light medium compared to soil. Got some hard in that. Yeah, take that out. What it was. So we've got another chocolate marugula. Rounding it up, so hopefully you'll be able to see on the little camera what I'm doing here with regards to mounding things up and things like that, packing things in. There's number 2. And so, as you saw them in the little pots, the little tray, they were sort of sitting sort of that proud, so you can see in actual fact I've buried it by a substantial amount, probably about an inch. Label this one numero 3 as well, because it's another Choco Marugula. That goes in the tray at the back as well. So I'm going to get on and I'll come back to you as and when.
Okay guys, so hopefully this is recording. I don't know that it is. Yes it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to, while I'm putting up there, we're just going to have a chat about things you can plan and jobs to do in February. I don't know if I'm going to fill all this time. I actually do quite a lot of putting on, but we'll see. So we'll start with I'm sorry, I'm just having to read my own notes and my own handwriting. It's terrible. We'll start with what you can be taking out of the ground now if it was planted last season. Things that, you know, are coming to the end in February, things that want to be pulled because they're going to turn or be past their best. So you've got winter salad leaves and oriental brassicas. So you've got baby leaf kale, mizuna. I think there's a rocket you can do over winter. Things like that should be coming out now. Chicory, if you grow it. Swedes, they need to come out in the coming month. They will start to turn woody. They'll still be edible, but they'll be past the best. So really, they want to be coming out. Winter cauliflowers, they need to come out if you've any left. I know with it being so mild, a lot of people have struggled to make them keep. But any winter cauliflowers, as the weather starts to get milder, they're going to start to bolt. So any that you had in all through winter, they need to come out. Obviously not the ones that you've just planted, but any that have got heads on that were in before Christmas. Leeks, once again, the milder weather is going to start and make those bolt, so they want to be coming out really, and obviously your new ones couldn't have been sown. Brussels sprouts, now I tend to pick these as they become large enough anyway, so generally come this time of year I don't have any left. But what you can do, if you've still got a lot of Brussels sprouts left, what I would do is I would pick them all, I would take them home, I would peel them, I would then sit them in a bucket of salted water just for an hour or two, and it just makes sure that if there's any creepy crawlies deep down inside that you've not caught while you were peeling, it just causes them to flush out a little bit. And then I'd stick them in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer. In fact, no, I'll tell you what I'd do. On a oven tray or a tray of some description, a single layer, nice and flat, then freeze them. Then once they're frozen solid, put them in a bag. That trick with the tray just stops them sticking together so much. You're sprouting broccoli. That will be coming to an end now. Once again, the milder weather will cause that to go to flower. So any remaining sprouting broccoli wants picking and the plants want to be out. Parsnips, they'll be starting to go woody. They want to be out and eaten. Lettuces, if you had any overwinter lettuces, I think endive is one that you can do over winter. They want to come out really. The whole heads, they want to come out. They're going to start to blow if you don't take them. Any winter cabbages and celeriac. I did celeriac 2 years ago. Shan't be doing it again. You can also be taking out your Jerusalem artichokes if you've grown any. Little fart nuggets, as I call them. I don't grow them. I don't think the kids will like them. I did some pink fir apple, which are kind of similar in flavour, so I'm told, and the kids couldn't stand them, so I shan't be doing Jerusalem artichokes. So we're moving on now to things you could sow in February. So it's not a big list yet this time of year. Please, 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 like I said in the last video, don't get ahead of yourself. Let nature run its course. I disagree with these YouTubers that are telling you to put tomatoes in and things like that. That's all well and good, depending on the equipment you have, which I spoke about in last week's video. I'll try and remember to stick a link in up in the top right corner. But things you could certainly be planting outdoors now is any broad beans. You saw me start mine in a previous video about a month ago. Fruit trees and bushes. Now's a good time for fruit trees and bushes. Garlic, that can go out on the proviso that your soil isn't too wet and your plot's not waterlogged. If your plot's too damp, it will rot off. If you've got some garlic and you need to get it planted, what you can do is, like I did with my onion sets in the live stream, what I've shown you earlier on in this video, you can just put them into modules in compost and put them in your greenhouse and let your plot dry out a little bit, and they'll thank you for it. You can be planting out grapevines. You can be replanting your Jerusalem artichokes. You could, if you wanted, be doing peas now. I wouldn't. I'd wait until March. Wait until, once they're up, the frost has passed. But you could plant them out now if you wanted. If you were to do it now, I would advise putting them under some sort of plastic cloche. Your rhubarb crowns, they can be divided and planted now. Your shallot sets, same as the garlic if your plot's not waterlogged. And turnips, you can sow your turnips now. Remember, turnips don't transplant well, they need sowing in situ, and remember to thin them out. Sowing indoors at the moment, you can still be doing your broad beans in cells. Brussels sprout seeds, globe artichoke seeds. I know a lady on my allotment grows quite a lot of globe artichokes. She's got some red ones this year. I'm interested to see how they look when they come up. Kohlrabi. I personally, kohlrabi I would do towards the end of the month really, maybe even the start of March, but you could do it now provided you've got somewhere to plant them on. You have to remember with kohlrabi, once it's up, if it gets too warm it will go straight to seed, so bear that in mind for your planting location. Leeks, you can sow your leeks now on a bed of compost. They'll take, at this weather, a month or two to be ready to be transplanted out, so you can sow them now. Any early lettuces, I think I spoke about those in another video. I think there's a variety called all year round, and there's a red all year round one that I use as well. They can be sown now. Onions from seeds can be sown now, once again as you've seen in my video. Peas can also be sown indoors. The one thing I would say, if you're going to sow them indoors, by all means wait until they germinate, but once they've germinated I would put them out somewhere cool and well lit, just to slow them down a little bit, but that's just me. Radish, they can be sown. I might put some in the Polytunnel in the coming weeks. Rhubarb from seed. Don't fall into the trap a lot of new allotmenters did last year and bought rhubarb chard. That is not, you can't make a grub crumble with rhubarb chard. Salad leaves, once again, Mizuna, Rocket, they can go in now. Spinach, that could go in. You can re-sow your purple sprouting broccoli. And that's pretty much it. If you've got the right environment, you could sow tomatoes now. You can sow chilies now. The one proviso with those is either if you haven't got lights, you must have a really bright, sunny, south-facing windowsill that gets sun all day. Otherwise, you'll end up with plants that are far too leggy. They're too big. The main stem is grown too long, and the plant won't be able to support itself. Like I said, we're going to talk about that more on Wednesday. On the topic of what you could sow now and seeds, do remember to check out our new friends over at growseed.co.uk. They have very kindly given us a discount code for 5% off the basket total, and that discount code is Combo Shed to be used at checkout. They have seeds, plug plants, I believe they also have some shrubs and trees as well, although don't quote me on that, I can't remember, I'm doing this from memory. But the best thing about them is it's all their own seed, it's stuff they grow, it's stuff they know about. They invite you to ask them any questions about their produce. They're a great ethical company, and I think they're marvellous, and I'm well happy to be supporting them and help to perpetuate their business. So please head along to growseed.co.uk, link in the description. Head along and have a look. For all you new allotmenters, it's a great site, the prices are amazing, and they're full of allotment beginner staples. So please head over and have a look. So jobs you can do in February. One of the biggest things that I get behind, especially for you, your new allotment growers, is now is the time you could start thinking about giving your soil a health check. Giving your soil a health check. What does that mean? Well, you can get a kit. I have one. I've spoken about it in my Birds and the Bees series, part 2 I think it is. Once again, I'll try and stick a link up above. And what that is you test your alkalinity or your acidity of your soil. You can test your nutrient content, so your nitrogen, your phosphogen, your NPK anyway. You can test those. I'm glad to say I think Aaron's doing a video on NPK soon to come onto the channel. I'm going to try and get him to do it a bit sooner so that we can include it here with respect to soil health checks. When you know what the quality of your soil is and what it has got in it and what it hasn't got in it, you know what you can correct, and that will help you perpetuate a big crop. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Nice healthy plants give you nice bountiful crops. So looking after your soil, and it'll look after your plants. A little bit of work now means a lot less work in the long run. So please do look into soil testing kits. I have one in my links, in my Amazon affiliate links in the description. I think there is one. If there isn't, I will add it onto this video. Well worth a purchase. I can't stress enough. Look after your soil, it'll look after your plants. Speaking of soil, one of the main things you can do in this time of year, because it's so cool out, is turning your compost heap. It's important. If you don't turn it, it's not going to break down. Turning it will speed it up a lot. It'll keep it warm, it'll keep all those little bacteria and fungi happy, and it'll break down a lot faster. You should have your potatoes, and they should be out and chitting by now in a cool, well lit environment. If you're not going to pull your collies, protect them from frost. You can spread compost and manure now, but if it's manure, you must make sure it's well rotted. It's late in the season, we're starting to get into the season now, so it needs to be well rotted, otherwise it's going to be too rich when you're planting your plants, and you'll lose what you plant. You can finish off pruning your fruit trees. You can do another winter wash, provided the buds haven't started opening. You can start to dig your trenches for the likes of runner beans and potatoes if you really want to. And that, folks, is about it. That's pretty much all your jobs for February. So we've covered quite a lot there, so I'll hand you back to Russ.
Right guys, well hopefully that's kept recording. I've not checked on it. Don't think it is, I think the lights have gone out. But yes, don't forget to check out our partners over at Grow Seed. Link and things in the description below. Okay, I think it has kept recording. Okay guys, that's it. I'm not going to do any seed planting today. I'm out of time. I'm going to have people screaming at me for lunch and things soon, or dinner and things soon. So we'll revisit that maybe on Wednesday's video when we talk about seed legginess, which we've kind of touched upon on this video, but we'll go into it a little bit more on Wednesday's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out growseed.co.uk, and don't forget to use your discount code at checkout, which is ConvoShed, for 5% off your basket. So until next time folks, I'll see you later.